Well, it's a lovely breezy, hot, sunny day here in the old town. I'm in Fort Mahakhan Park and I'm going to give you 10 reasons why this is Bangkok's favourite park. So why has this park been given the title of Bangkok's favourite park? You might be wondering who voted for it and why weren't you asked to vote? Well, the truth is, this is Bangkok Pat's favourite park, and when I was doing the title for the video last night, it was quite late and I forgot to put the Pat after the Bangkok. And then I thought I'd leave it because that's quite a clickbaity title. So if you've been drawn in by that clickbait and it's your first Bangkok Pat video, then welcome. Please do watch to the end and subscribe if you feel like it. So why is this my favourite park? Well, we're in the heart of the old town, an area I love exploring. We're also surrounded by lots of historic tourist attractions that you must visit. And it also happens to be a lovely little green space. So I want to talk about something that happened to me, and it's probably happened to you at some point in your lives, and that is you met a Star Wars fan. And in my case, it didn't take the guy long to bring the conversation topic right round to how much he loved Star Wars. And he even quoted a couple of lines from the film to me, and I think he was a little bit upset that I didn't know what the hell he was talking about. Something about the Force. Anyway, the reason why I talk about that is because across the canal from the park is a place called the Jedi Cafe, and the spelling of this name is actually a J rather than CH, so it looks like it's called the Jedi Cafe. And I've spoken to people and I've read comments online suggesting that the reason why it has that name is because the owner must be a huge Star Wars fan, but that is not the case. Jedi Cafe is a reference to the Golden Mount just across the road from it, where at the top of the hill they've got a big giant golden Jedi or pagoda. And sometimes in Thai language, they substitute CH with J. One example is Chatuchak Market is sometimes called JJ Market. So I'm sorry to disappoint any Star Wars fans, but please don't let that stop you from visiting the fabulous Jedi Cafe. Or should that be Jedi Cafe? The park is named after Fort Mahakan, which was one of 14 forts around the edge of Rattanakosin Island. They were built at the time Bangkok was established in 1782, and along the city wall they would protect the areas around the gates from potential imposters or invaders from getting into Bangkok. But as the threat from the Burmese lessened in the second half of the 19th century, most of the forts were actually demolished by the time the 20th century was underway. There are 4 remaining forts today, and they've all been given historical monument status by the Fine Arts Department. Well, history might not be everyone's cup of tea, but for me, I drink several mugs of it on a daily basis. And being British, of course, I have to ruin the natural flavour of it by chucking in copious amounts of milk and sugar. But anyway, you are surrounded by history here in this park, and I'm standing in front of the old city wall, which was constructed at the time they established Bangkok as the capital of Siam in 1782. And up until that point, they'd been having several conflicts with the Burmese over the centuries, which led to the fall of Ayutthaya, of course. And the need for a defensive wall they thought was necessary. But as the British took more control over Burma from the mid-19th century onwards, the threat lessened and a lot of the wall was demolished by the turn of the 20th century. There are two sections of it remaining today. The longer section is here in the park, and there is a shorter section just down on Prasumen Road. So the old city wall was built from bricks that were salvaged from the ruins of Ayutthaya, and they were shipped down the Chao Phraya River and used to build the new fortification wall around the new capital of Siam. And it's quite amazing to think that these bricks are hundreds of years old. So I thought we'd take a walk across Panfala Bridge here to one of the nearby historical tourist attractions, probably the best known one, and that is Saket and the Golden Mount. I have covered it before in a video, but I thought as we're in the area, we might as well go and take a quick look. Panfala Pier is the terminus of the Klong San Seb canal boat service, although this part of the canal is actually the Klong Mahanak, and then about a kilometre upstream it changes to the Klong San Seb canal. Next to that is the Sapan Mahatai Utit Bridge, and that was built in 1914. It carries Soi Borapat off towards the Golden Mount and Saket, which we'll come to in just a moment. But if you walk on the right hand side of the road, you'll see several old-fashioned carpenters' workshops. They date back several generations, and you can go in there, choose your wood, and they will build you any type of furniture that you desire. So well worth considering if you want to furnish your condo or your house with some good old-fashioned quality handmade furniture. The Golden Mount and Saket are definitely in the top 5 most well-known, most well-visited tourist attractions here in the old town. The temple Saket dates back to the Ayutthaya era, built sometime in the 17th or 18th century, although there's no documented actual date written down as to when it was built. The Golden Mount was an artificial hill which they constructed during the reign of King Rama I, and it collapsed a couple of times and wasn't actually finished until about 1870 during the reign of King Rama V, and they put a golden shetty at the top of it and called it Pu Khao Tong, and you could get great views over the old town, and at the time it was the tallest point in the city, and you can still go up there and get great views, but you've got to tackle a lung-busting 244 steps. Across from the park on the other side of Mahachai Road is a temple that you definitely can't miss, and although some of it is undergoing renovation, the part we want to see is definitely still accessible. So the name of this temple means Temple of the Royal Niece. King Rama III had it built in 1846 for one of his granddaughters, and the structural design here was inspired by two similar temples in Sri Lanka and India. The name Loha Prasat translates literally into Iron Castle, the 37 spires representing the 37 virtues of enlightenment. And although construction started in 1846, it wasn't completely finished until the 1960s. And in 1995, they installed a Buddha inside the tower at the very top. And in 2007, it was open to the public. If you exit onto Mahachai Road, you'll find a lot of choice of places to eat and drink, and a couple of places are quite well known. You've got Tipsamai, which have won lots of awards for their pad thai. I think they claim to be the best in Bangkok, or maybe even the best in Thailand. I've been there a couple of times. It is very good. It's certainly not the best in Thailand, but the prices are very reasonable. So if you're in the area, I do recommend it. Then a few doors down from that, you've got the famous Michelin-starred crab omelette, J Fire, and people queue up there from 6 o'clock in the morning to try those famous crab omelettes. Apparently it's really expensive, but if people are queuing from 6 in the morning, then surely it's got to be quite good. There are 5 different cats in this park that I've counted anyway. 2 of them are really sociable. If you cut through the park even once, you're bound to see one of them. You may have petted them, you may have fed them. But the black one has history on the channel. It's been in 3 different videos. And there was an interesting incident a couple of years ago with a snake. So the original land here was granted by King Rama V for the residences of palace officials and servants. And one of those palace officials was said to be the inventor of Lee Care Theatre and opened up the first paid theatre in Thailand, where he and his troupe were performers. He also set up the business here selling Lee Care costumes and musical instruments. Other merchants here made bird cages, wicker items, temple drums, and sold charcoal that was brought down from Ayutthaya and then resold to Chinese vendors. Over the years, the original families moved on and the area became dilapidated due to a lack of funding for repairs. The original land appropriation notice was issued as far back as 1992, but things got dragged out due to legal issues and changes of office at the Bangkok Metropolitan Administration. In 2010, the community had to fortify themselves in due to the protests. Residents were on guard 24 hours a day. The worst part was that the stage for the rally was set up on Panfala Bridge, meaning people here didn't get any rest or sleep due to the constant noise from the speakers. Some residents would sneak out and mingle within the rally to look out for any signs of unrest or danger that would threaten their safety. It was testament to the strong community spirit here that they managed to work together through this turbulent time. Evictions took place in 2018 and the park was opened a year later. So there used to be just one exit at the other end of the park taking you out onto Mahachai Road, but in the last couple of months they've built a new towpath along the Klong Ong Ang Canal, which means there's another exit, a new one. As you come out of the park, you will see the Penguin Village Chill Out Bar, and that might actually distract you from walking along the towpath because it is in a really good spot and you can grab a beer, a tea, a coffee. And I was thinking, let's do a subscribers and viewers date afternoon on Tuesday, 4 p.m. We all turn up at the Penguin Village Chill Out Bar. I'll leave an address with a link in the description, and he'll think the world's gone crazy when all these people turn up. Well, I've got to thank all the staff here at the park for putting up with me for the last few days. I do feed their cats though, so I suppose that repays the favour. Please do subscribe if you haven't already done so. Like, share, leave a comment. If you want to support me and support the channel, you can do so via the Buy Me a Coffee link on the screen. That just leaves me to say thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.